But first, why a superintendent's decision not to hold a moment of silence on September 11th for elementary school-age students is being criticized by parents and others. And for more on this, let's bring in the person who will bring us the story tonight, Regina Orsania.
Well, Rich, not observing a moment of silence on 9/11 has created tension among educators and parents in the East Islip School District. And some of those parents, including a retired New York City fire captain who served on that tragic day, are speaking out.
I sincerely feel that my son was violated on 9/11. I know that's a strong word, but my son was violated on 9/11. He was in a place that did not stop and honor his country, and I'm sorry, that is wrong. That's not what public schools are about.
Peter Carino, a September 11th first responder and father of two, says the schools in the East Islip District have always observed the anniversary of the 9/11 attacks with a moment of silence. That was until this year, when the district superintendent decided without notifying parents that the elementary kids would not take part. Something Carino says really upset him.
Emotionally, it affected me to the point where last week I could not even hold the conversation. They need to do it to honor all that have fallen. Their lives were taken away, and that's not right. And they were innocent people. And our children need to remember that, and they need to honor 9/11.
And Carino is not the only one who feels this way. The retired fire captain took his plea to the internet and started a petition demanding an apology from the superintendent and a reinstatement of the moment of silence. That petition, in just 1 week, attracted more than 1,000 signatures and comments. Daniel Donahue writes, "This is not something to be determined by personal opinion. It is an event that forever changed the history of America as well as the personal lives of so many. It should be taught, discussed, and most of all, remembered." Christine Gallagher writes, "It is hard to believe that this even has to be done." And Miss Patricia Moeller writes simply, "Shame on you, Mr. Chu."
I personally lost quite a few friends and quite a few fellow firefighters and police officers. And it's something that's very, very close to my heart. And anytime somebody tries to downplay the importance of that terrible day, 9/11, I take it personally. And
as a resident and a taxpayer, I felt ashamed and embarrassed. And by doing a moment of silence and bowing your head for 30 seconds and remembering however you want to remember isn't going to hurt or scare any children.
Superintendent Wendell Chu and members of the school board denied our interview requests, but instead directed us to the district's website and this letter where Chu not only apologized to those who may have been offended, but stated why he made this decision. He says, quote, "This decision was made with the best of intentions and with the welfare of children in mind, who may not be ready for explanations of acts of terrorism, and for those who may find it difficult to talk with their young children about these matters, especially if they were touched by the tragedy. It's a decision that some parents we spoke to are happy about."
I agree with him. He did the right thing. They're too young. Neither one of my children were born at the time. And I think it depends on the age of the child and their sensitivity to the acts of terrorism. My children happen to be a little bit more so sensitive, so I was not upset by that.
I don't think they were not trying to care. They had their reasons. I think it was maybe to protect some kids who aren't ready for that. That's what they explained. It made sense to me, so I'm okay with it.
In the letter, Chu also noted that he'll meet with school staff to discuss age-appropriate activities to observe 9/11 in the future, something Carino and others say is still not enough.
We need to have a national standard on how we treat 9/11 in the public school classrooms. That needs to include a moment of silence. A moment of silence is simple. It's not going to harm a child. To me, standing up and honoring your country and remembering those who died that day is not scaring a child.
A tough battle in the East Islip School District. Well, the superintendent and school board, as well as the PTA heads, will meet to discuss how to commemorate 9/11 in the future this Wednesday. That meeting is closed to the public, and that's yet another thing Carino expressed concern about. Rich?
Well, thank you, Regina.